Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Why Jasmine Everyday Cooking. I'm Huma Siddiqui, and I am not a chef, but I just love to cook. And we have some great dishes today. I'm going to make these beautiful tomatoes, and they're going to be filled with ground beef, a lot of spices in the ground beef as well, and some cilantro and green onions. And that tends to be a really colorful and very beautiful dish. And then I'm going to make some rice with peas, which I have made in other shows. But because rice is such a staple in Pakistani food in the menu, that I have to make something on the side, and I prefer rice because it just turns out so wonderful and so colorful as well. I'm going to make that, and also some raita, which is a yogurt sauce, again with some cumin and some cilantro. Also, I wanted to make some pakoras, which I think I've made it with zucchini and also with spinach in the past. But today we have some sliced potatoes, and these are just yellow potatoes, and I've just skinned them and sliced them. And then what I want to do is dip it in gram flour batter and then just deep fry it. And you know, fried food, I mean, how can that be bad? It's just, anything that is fried is just good. And I love it. I think it's very comforting. And we have some very special guests today on our show. My friend Jane has actually come in from Arizona, and she had done a project on Pakistani cuisine. I remember a few months ago she had called me in a panic and said that, could you tell me more about Pakistani culture and cuisine? And it was really fun to talk to her, and I think she said that her project was very successful. So here we go. I want to make the rice first. Just use some of, this is canola oil, but you can use any kind of oil in your rice. Just be careful with olive oil because it gets hot pretty quickly. I have left some of the whole spices here for everyone to see, because the idea for my dishes are also that I like to incorporate a lot of different spices in day-to-day cooking. To be very honest, I live in the Midwest, and the food is very bland. And that is something that I had to just sort of get over it and start, you know, putting more and more spices in my cooking. Because I grew up with spices, you know, so everything, especially turkey, my God. I don't even know if it's an animal, really. It's just extremely bland. Sorry, that's how it is. So as the oil gets a little warmer, you want to add your whole spices. And I'm using some of the cloves, some of the green cardamoms, and some of the black or whole black big cardamoms. Want to add some bay leaves. Then you want to add some of the chopped onions. And this is how it is. You want to give every step a few seconds, because so that all the flavors can really come out and infuse your oil. Otherwise, if you add everything at the same time, it just doesn't happen. Then the onions are sauteed a little bit, and you can smell the spices in the onions. You want to add your green peas. And I usually use the frozen bag. It's just easier. It's all nice and clean. Cooks very well. You add a little bit of salt. Just be gentle with it a little bit. So you don't want to mush them. And then I have some basmati rice. And I've just washed it a couple of times. I don't like to soak my rice as much because then it gets really soft. So I just wanted to wash it, and then you can throw that in. And once you have mixed everything in, I just want to add a little bit of turmeric because it adds a bit of color to it. And just gently stir it around. Add some water, and I have some warm water. Just helps the cooking of the rice. So you just want it to come to a boil. And as soon as it does, I'm going to move it to the other stove and leave it alone for a while.